Well, I want to talk about love today. Love is something that the whole world needs. Love and happiness is something that everybody needs right now. But if you got love and you don't have happiness, you ain't got nothing at all. I want to tell you about love and happiness today. It's something that'll make you want to do right and make you want to do wrong. Love. Hey! Love and happiness. Something wrong. Someone's on the phone. 3 o'clock in the
You're listening to Ashley's Story on BBC Radio Scotland, live from Pacific Quay, joined as always by sidekick Silent Paul. And we're talking love, we're talking romance, and we're talking how rubbish it is. We want to hear from you about your bad dates, the times you've got yourself in the doghouse in your relationship, anything really at all, whatever you want to get in touch and talk about. 80295, or you can email us. What's the email, Paul?
It's ashleystory@bbc.co.uk.
Now, I was thinking earlier, because we were talking about St. Valentine and where his bones are buried, and I was getting confused because I know something happened at Gretna Green, and I looked it up, and back in the old days it was the hub of runaway marriages, Paul, because there was a marriage act in England in the 1700s where if you were under the age of 21 your parents could cancel your wedding and veto it if they didn't like who you were getting married to. But in Scotland, that didn't apply. And any boys over the age of 14 and any girls over the age of 12, could get married. And so there was also a weird irregular marriage law, which meant people could become ordained to marry you, the same way you can kind of go online and get ordained nowadays. But these blacksmiths in Gretna, which is the border, decided to become marriage people, and they would marry people over the, what do you call it? It's the anvils, and that's what happens there. But St. Valentine had nothing to do with it.
Would you ever marry someone if you got ordained?
If I, yeah, 100%, I would become a celebrant. Yes, because it's like making somebody's wedding about me. That would be great. I got confused because when you said, would you ever marry someone? I was like, no, ugh. But then I realised you meant conduct a dearly beloved. Oh, I could do it in voices and costumes. I could be.
You don't know, you might marry someone.
Absolutely not, never going to happen.
Other reasons?
Like money? No.
Or a scam?
Well, yeah, okay.
You could do a Deirdre Rashid.
I could, no, do you know what I would marry someone for? If I somehow managed to get onto one of those reality shows like Love Island and I had found a con partner who was going to pretend with me to be like my partner, I would get married for that.
Well, that's just married at first sight, is it not?
Yeah, but I would do it in a way where the other person knows, look, neither of us are into this, but we know that we can do something fun.
And then like a
bit.
rom-com, you eventually get into it.
I hope not, because then that's my finances and wills would have to be written.
Or knowing you would be like, oh, getting divorced would just be so much hassle. I'm just going to live with this pain now for 30 years.
That's pretty much what would happen.
I've got too many ties now.
It's too, you're too deep rooted in. Fine, we're going to get a 2-bedroom house. Don't look at me in the eye. That would probably be what ended up happening. Now I feel quite sad. That's possibly my future after some fun rom-com jeopardy. If you, dream wedding, beach, barn, or somewhere else. Like, because people love a destination wedding and people love a barn wedding for no good reason.
I don't know. I don't understand the barn wedding element of it. I do like the castles.
Yes.
I do like a castle wedding.
A castle wedding is very nice.
But I don't like castle adjacent weddings. And people say, oh, we're getting married in a castle. And then it's like you go there and you find out that it's just a big house. But it's also, you get married in a marquee.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that Paul was suddenly a snob about mansions versus castles.
Well, you told me you're getting married in a castle and then I'm standing in a tent.
I'd say I'd get married in a castle and then it turns out it's just castle milk. So technically it is a castle that I'm getting married in. Why are you suddenly so snobby about buildings? I didn't know you were in Downton Abbey. Oh no, it's not. Where's your turrets? It's just a big house. That is so rude, Paul. No wonder
you should all be counting everyone's turrets. Don't make claims you can't cash.
Right, Jane Jones has been in touch with Font Knowledge. She says, St. Valentine anent St. Valentine's relics. One of his arms is in a reliquary?
A reliquary?
Reliquary in a church in the Gorbals. Oh, and folk go there with their partners to be blessed with his love. That's so nice. There was a bit on TV and Scottish News about it. I don't watch the news. It's too scary and upsetting. Now, how do we know it's actually St. Valentine's arm? We don't. In the Middle Ages, there were naughty people who used to go around selling bones in the belief that they are relics of a saint. Often they were parts of sheep or pigs or whatever.
I've bought loads of those bones.
That's so creepy.
I'll buy any bone. If you say it's a saint's bone, I'll take it. You know?
This was the forerunner of the computer scam. As this is obviously a human arm, one shudders to think where they got it.
I like that that's like, there's been like multiple other scams in the times since the Victorian age. And you went right from Victorian age to computer scam.
I like that, Jen Jones. Do you know what I would love? You know how they've got that Yellowstone, right? That big hit show with Kevin Costner. And now they're doing all the 1872 and the olden days ones. Do you remember that hit British television show, The Hustle? Remember The Hustle?
It wasn't called The Hustle, it was just called Hustle.
Do you remember Hustle?
Yeah, it starred Robert Vaughn.
So imagine they did Hustle 1872. And it was like The Hustle.
And that's actually a good idea.
I would watch that about rogue people with their scams like that, selling do you want to buy a saint's bone and it's not even. That'd be great telly.
We need to just take that idea and not call it Hustle 1872.
You could call it Bustle Hustle, and it's ladies with bustles who do hustles.
I don't know what a bustle is.
Bustles are the things that again, everybody thinks everything's new, right? But back in the old days, women really wanted to have Kim Kardashian bums. So they put a cushion over their bum, and it was
so
called...
that's the thing that gives them that with the skirt sits over the top of it, right? I didn't know that was called a bustle.
A bustle hustle. It'd be great. Oh, Jane Jones, you could be what's the person who helps on a TV programme and gives you information? What's that called?
Lots of different people do that.
No,
on a TV show.
You know how when you're doing a crime drama,
you would have a consultant.
That's
you would
it.
have
Jane Jones is our consultant.
researcher.
Jane Jones can be our consultant on the Bustle Hustle working title about
There's better titles than that.
about olden days
We're
scams.
trying to get away from the hustle connotations because we don't own that IP.
Well, maybe they'll be excited to be part of that
We're not
IP.
talking about television shows today anyway, although we will be later on suggesting.
Yes, you're quite right, Paul. I'm sorry. I got distracted. I got very excited. Jane Jones, thank you so much for being in touch and telling us things that we always want to know. You can get in touch with us via text 80295. Let us know anything, really. We're not really fussed. We're talking love and romance, but we're also talking about bone stealing, apparently, as well. And all sorts of scams and nonsense. Let's have another song. It's Soft Cell, and they've got Tainted Love.